She rose from a small town in South Carolina to the global stage of the United Nations. A fierce Republican, a proud Indian American, and a woman who isn't afraid to challenge even the most powerful figures in politics. This is the incredible story of Nikki Haley, the woman who might just change the future of American politics. Nikki Haley was born as Nimrata Randhawa on January 20, 1972 in Bamberg, South Carolina. Her parents, Ajit and Raj Randhawa, were Indian immigrants who moved to the United States from Punjab. Her father was a biology professor, and her mother started a successful clothing business from scratch. Growing up in the rural South as a child of Indian immigrants wasn't easy. She often talked about being different, saying she felt too brown for the white kids and too white for the brown kids. But this experience shaped her, it toughened her, and it made her determined to stand out for all the right reasons. Nikki graduated from Clemson University with a degree in accounting and joined her family's clothing company. There, she quickly proved her leadership and business skills. But business wasn't her only calling. In 2004, Nikki took a bold step into politics. Running for the South Carolina House of Representatives, she was just 32 years old and went up against a powerful 30-year incumbent. And she won. It was the beginning of something big. In 2010, Nikki Haley made history. At just 38 years old, she became the governor of South Carolina. The first woman, the first Indian American, and the youngest person ever elected to that office. As governor, she focused on cutting taxes, attracting businesses, and improving the state's economy. But her leadership was tested in moments of crisis. When a tragic mass shooting took place at a church in Charleston in 2015, killing 9 African-American worshipers, the nation mourned. Haley showed strength and compassion, and she made a controversial but powerful decision to remove the Confederate flag from the South Carolina State House grounds. A move that drew both praise and backlash but cemented her national reputation. In 2017, her political journey took a global turn. President Donald Trump appointed her as the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. At the UN, Nikki Haley quickly earned a reputation as a tough negotiator and an unapologetic defender of American values. She took on North Korea, condemned human rights abuses in Iran and Syria, and wasn't afraid to call out the UN itself for what she saw as its anti-American and anti-Israel bias. Even those who disagreed with her politics respected her boldness on the world stage. After stepping down from her UN role in 2018, Haley didn't fade into the background. She published a best-selling memoir titled With All Due Respect, and launched a political group called Stand for America. She kept her name in the headlines and her options wide open. Speculation about her presidential ambitions began to grow louder, and in 2023, she made it official. Nikki Haley announced her candidacy for the Republican nomination for president. She became the first major GOP candidate to challenge Donald Trump in the 2024 primary, making headlines once again. But Haley's political path hasn't been without controversy. Critics accuse her of trying to have it both ways, distancing herself from Trump while still appealing to his base. Some have questioned her consistency on key issues, and her shifting stance on figures within her own party. Yet, through it all, Nikki Haley has remained focused, polished, and fiercely determined. She continues to be a prominent voice in American politics and a symbol of rising conservative leadership. Nikki Haley's story is about much more than political ambition. It's about breaking barriers, overcoming identity struggles, and navigating the toughest arenas of both domestic and international politics. She's already made history multiple times as a governor, as a UN ambassador, and as a woman of color in a party still grappling with diversity. But the question now is, how much further will she go? whether or not she ever becomes president. Nikki Haley has already carved out a unique place in the story of modern American politics. Her journey from Bamberg to the global stage proves one thing: in America, with enough determination, anyone, no matter where they come from, can rise to the top. If you found Nikki Haley's story as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful biographies and unbelievable success stories, and tell us in the comments, do you think Nikki Haley has what it takes to be America's next president? Thanks for watching.